One Piece chapter 470. Man, I expected a lot of things. Did not expect the Straw Hats to be taken out this easily in one chapter by one opponent. It is Luffy's zombie. Don't get me wrong, okay? Like, it just shows you if Luffy was in a situation where the Straw Hats all decided they're gonna attack him. If Luffy got serious and bloodlusted, he'd one-shot all of them. But man, I thought Zoro would have put up a better fight than he did. Man, I totally was not expecting this, man. I thought Zoro was closer to Luffy's skill level than he actually was. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I know that this isn't actually Luffy. Oars is apparently, according to Nico Robin, the Oars that was known as the continent puller, which would explain the extreme strength. Now, my question is he actually a continent puller? Because if that's the case, like, Luffy and them have definitely gone past island level at this point. And I don't know. Like, you gotta take character statements with a grain of salt with some shonens, but you know, with a series like One Piece, you kind of have to take these with actual legit, like, if he's a continent puller, then he's a continent puller. So this, wow, Luffy and them might be continent range. Like, I gotta see this. I almost want to check out some One Piece power scales, but I don't want to get spoiled, so I've got to wait until after I get caught up. So let me know down in the comment section below, where do Luffy and them rank right now? Are they actually on the continent level? Are they small island level, or are they just town level? Because up until this point, I had them at large city level. Like, I feel like if they, like, particularly Luffy, if he just went all out, Luffy could destroy an entire city. Like, in one shot, just wipe it all off. That's where I would put Luffy. But anyway, this chapter, it opens up. Oars is looking at that roster of the Straw Hats with all the wanted posters. And I find it very funny that the shadow that has Luffy's personality and everything is able to connect Sanji with that hideous drawing when nobody else could. Like, he's literally the first person to recognize Sanji. And Sanji, you got Zoro throwing a little shade at him, like, did that idiot rescue Nami yet? And Zoro has to be told, I think he's in more trouble than Nami. And I mean, not Nami, than Sanji. And what I thought was pretty cool was the fact that, you know, Sanji does try to put up a fight for a while, but right away Oars catches him, and you see Sanji, he's just by the grip alone he's been taken out. But complete bloodlust, he takes Sanji and he throws him into the ground. Sanji completely KO'd at this point. And then you have the moment where he looks over at Nico Robin and at Chopper. He recognizes them, and then you get to the moment where you see how Frankie's using his weapons and he's firing his weapons, but they're missing. And this big beast of an object is actually pretty quick. So not only does he have knowledge of Luffy's attacks, but he doesn't have Luffy's gum abilities, but he has such long reach, he might as well be a rubber man. And he has the huge destructive force that Luffy himself has. But you have this moment where Frankie has been taken out. And while all of this is going on, Moria is taunting Luffy, telling him, while you're trying to defeat me, your crewmates are going to get smashed by your zombie. Are you sure you're doing the right thing? And I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to make Luffy go after his crewmates, because what it ended up happening is Moria can escape. It's very smart, but Luffy is showing two things. He's showing the discipline to stay locked on what his original goal was, and then he's also showing that he trusts in his crewmates. So I love the fact that we are seeing that out of Luffy, that maturation process that is continuing, which gives me very high hopes for his character arc and his development. Very high hopes. But the next big thing that we see after this, while all this is going on, is Zoro comes out of the shadows, if you will. And Zoro's just like, all of you get down off of the roof. And it's at this point, I'm like, okay, Zoro's about to come in and put in the work. And I actually thought that this fight was going to last a couple of chapters. doesn't end up being the case. Zoro gets taken out in a few panels. He goes into the 3-pound, I won't say it's the 3-pound style, or it's the 3-sword style, the gorilla move where he basically beats up his muscles and he's swinging the swords. No impact. Zoro gets swatted away. Nico Robin has to use her flower fruit in order to make that net in order to catch Zoro, but Zoro has been taken completely out. Usopp is firing the explosions and firing the salt, and the salt isn't big enough to actually purify the zombie. And you have that moment where Luffy's zombie just picks up this huge chunk of debris and throws it at Usopp, and Chopper comes in. And Chopper has a really beastly move where Chopper goes into his human fruit. He comes in, smashes the debris. I'm thinking, wow, Chopper just had a hell of a strength feat. Like this, the feat that Chopper would have had if he would have did it, would have been right there with, wow, I don't think I put this video out yet, but there's this one thing in the Naruto novel, Itachi's story, Daylight, where Kid Itachi sees a boulder being thrown by the Kyuubi, one of his tails, and it's getting ready to crush his mom and Sasuke. Baby Sasuke uses his chakra, runs up, and he actually smashes the boulder. And I'm thinking this is something like that, because Luffy's zombie's pretty big, but I'll tell you why it messed Chopper up like it did. It's one thing to have some distance, and Chopper's able to run and pick up some momentum of his own to try and negate it. But because Luffy's zombie is right there, and he's throwing it with such force, and it's picking up so much speed, even if Chopper uses all of his power, okay, every ounce of his power gets unlocked and he uses it, just the sheer impact is going to knock him out. The sheer impact. And if he's a second too slow, or he holds back a second too much, a bit too much, his entire body could be crushed because of the close proximity. And so when you have that and the rest of the Straw Hats are taken out by the rest of that attack, and you see Oars looking down over at all the Straw Hats, basically saying mission complete, and he says my master is Moria, it makes me wonder what's going to happen when Luffy encounters this thing and he finds out what happened to his crewmates. This is going to be big. And also, are they going to be captured? Because they have a huge bounty on them. A really huge bounty. Like, this is going to be very interesting. And if they're sitting out there, you got to remember, Sanji and Zoro, they had their shadows taken from them. If Luffy doesn't wrap this up quick enough and the sun comes up, the sun, for all we know, might actually be up. But because the fog is so thick, eventually that sunlight's going to go through. And if it hits their bodies and their shadows aren't there, they're going to disintegrate. So the stakes have been raised. This is good. This was a good chapter. A very good way to end this volume, which is longer than there are other volumes. Like usually you get 8, 9 chapters. We got a full 10. And I understand the reasoning for this. You know, it's just like, I want to say it's volume 43 of Naruto, where they added a couple extra chapters and they charged more. And it's because you had a special event. And I'm guessing the special event for this volume will probably be the Straw Hats taking on Oars, because it was basically 2 chapters devoted to that. 1 chapter as a setup, and then you had the actual fight itself, and it just opens up to the next volume. I can understand it, because this was too big of a chapter to open up the next volume, which you had to close out the volume with this one to make people say, what happens next? So, I mean, that was a really smart decision, and they made some extra money off of it. But my chapter question to you guys is twofold. The first part, did you expect this fight to be over with this quick? And the second part, which Straw Hat did you think was going to put up a better fight? But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching the end of the video, guys. Have an awesome day.